And the beginning of the drama, we see our male lead whose name is Jin, and he is a struggling singer. Even today, he is trying to compose a tune for one of his songs, and at the same time he bumps into our female lead. Her name is Won, and this is their first meeting. There is a bit of confusion due to which their earphones get exchanged. Actually, the reason behind this is that by coincidence they both were listening to the same song. But after going a little far, they realize that their earphones got disconnected from their phone. Now one comes back to return them, and both of them laugh a lot at the coincidence of how their favorite song could be the same. After this short meeting, she leaves his life. In the next scene, we see that one has come to Tokyo City for the first time. Actually, she belongs to a small town and is very happy after arriving there. As she reaches, she feels sleepy from the journey, so to freshen up, she starts splashing water from a fountain on herself. At that moment, Jin sees her again. He finds her actions quite strange as she is trying to wake herself up. Suddenly, something happens. Jin's phone slips from his hand and is about to fall into the water, but Won quickly jumps in between and saves his phone like a hero. At that moment, Jin realizes that she got into the water just to save his phone. He feels a bit late understanding it, but poor Won ends up getting completely wet. After a while, Jin realizes he was being selfish trying to save his phone, so he offers to compensate and help her by getting new clothes. But she happily refuses and leaves, saying her clothes will dry on their own. Actually, Won was very happy that day because she had come to meet Yuang. Yuang was her boyfriend as well as her childhood friend, and they were about to get married. She had come to Tokyo to plan their wedding. But when she meets him, he behaves like a complete stranger and clearly tells her that their paths are now different and he cannot marry her. He apologizes and says that he has found another girl and realized she is his soulmate. From here, Won starts remembering her childhood. When she was little, people used to bully her because of her name, and she didn't know how to defend herself. Then Yuang appeared in her life, and from childhood till high school, he always protected her from bullies. As they grew up, their friendship slowly turned into love without them even realizing it. One day, Yuang bought a ring with his pocket money and made her wear it as a symbol of their love. Today, that same ring was in her hand, but the one who gave it had already taken himself out of her life. Won had saved a lot of money for her wedding, but now that the wedding was not happening, she decides to fulfill some of her small wishes with that money. So she goes to a 5-star hotel and books a luxurious room for herself. Along with that, she also books a dinner prepared by a star chef. Seeing her condition, the employees get suspicious thinking she might be a scammer, but she shows them her money and they realize she is a genuine customer. For the first time in her life, she was experiencing such luxury and tasting unique dishes she had never seen before. At the same time, Jin is also at that restaurant for a meeting with a talent manager. He makes her listen to his new music, but it doesn't touch her heart. The talent manager is very famous and has helped many big stars rise, and now it's her task to bring out the star within Jin. But she tells him that his music has no life in it. It feels like he has never truly been in love or had his heart broken, which is why his composition lacks the pain it should have. Jin feels a bit upset, but as he passes by, he notices Won, who has become very drunk and is difficult for the waiter to handle. He sees her condition and calls out to her. He wants to help her, but she refuses any help. He leaves, but keeps worrying about her for some reason. After some time, she is standing drunk on a bridge when the ring slips from her hand. She is about to jump after it when Jin sees her and thinks she is trying to commit suicide. He runs to save her, and in the process, something of his falls into the water. But now Won realizes something. If she had fallen into the water like that, she would have drowned. This means Jin actually saved her life, and she feels deeply grateful toward him. She realizes that this is her first time in Tokyo, and Jin doesn't feel like leaving her alone there. So he carries her piggyback and starts taking her to her hotel. On the way, Won becomes very emotional and starts crying, saying that Yuang left her and broke her heart. It was her first time in Tokyo, and this day, which was supposed to be the biggest day of her life, turned into the worst. Her dream city shattered all her dreams. Somehow, Jin drops her at the hotel, and she also gets her slippers there. He is about to say goodbye and leave when Won runs to him, stops him, and takes him to her room. Actually, she had noticed that he got injured on his arm while saving her, and she wanted to dress his wound. Then we see a side character, an aunt who is Jin's landlady. At that time, her son arrives from abroad to surprise her. He says that he will stay in Japan for a few days, and during that time, he also wants to find a good wife for himself. On the other side, While dressing Jin's wound, Won starts crying again. She was drunk, so she behaves oddly. Seeing all this, Jin feels bad for her and plays the same tune on his phone that he had composed earlier. Won likes the music a lot, and it touches her heart so deeply that she starts crying again and praises his music a lot. Jin feels that this girl is not mentally okay at the moment, so he collects all the sharp objects from the first aid box and even from the bathroom and keeps them with himself so that she doesn't try to harm herself again. Just then, she receives a call from Yuang. She picks up the call but doesn't want to let him realize that her life feels incomplete without him. She talks to him normally as if nothing affects her because she doesn't want to appear weak. After ending the call, she goes to Jin and asks for his phone. As soon as she gets his phone, she starts blackmailing him by threatening to throw it out of the window. Then she makes a request, asks if he can go with her around the city the next day. Actually, she wanted to show Yuang that she has moved on and has other people in her life. Jin agrees. Though everything between them is still very surface level, they don't even know each other's names yet. As he is about to leave, Won calls out to him from the balcony, asks his name, and tells him hers as well. Jin thinks that this might be their last meeting and they may never see each other again. But somehow, the next morning, he finds himself standing at her hotel. He thinks that at least this way he can compensate her for saving his phone from falling into the water. Won doesn't even have proper shoes, so he buys her new ones according to her size. Then both of them head towards Yuang's house. Yuang is a very successful programmer, and looking at his house, it's clear that he lives in a good building and earns well. Won feels very foolish after coming there because, of course, she is hurt. She had come to meet her fiancé, but the wedding was already cancelled. At his house, they see a girl, and seeing her completely ruins Won's mood. She had planned to stay in control, but when she sees that the girl is actually living with him in his house, she gets extremely angry. As soon as Yuang comes in front of her, she loses control, hits him, pushes him, and cries while asking what he gained by breaking her heart. She says many emotional things, asking if she was always just a stranger to him. After venting her anger, she leaves from there. Jin follows her, carrying her belongings. He doesn't understand what to do. He knows she wants to remove him from her life, but he just can't leave her alone. Then we see a scene at Won's home. At her house, her grandmother is there along with some relatives because it's a special day. Her wedding dress has arrived. Won doesn't have the heart to break her grandmother's happiness at such a moment, so she stays quiet and doesn't tell them anything. She just says that everything is going fine with Yuang and that she is out for some work. She also tells that she has no parent. Only her grandmother is there in her life. She tells him that this lie won't last long. Of course, she has to tell her grandmother, but she will go back and tell her herself. She had decided that she would leave Tokyo the same day, but for some reason she isn't able to leave. Instead, she starts following Jin wherever he goes, without even knowing her own destination. While walking like this, she reaches his neighborhood. The area looks very high class, and seeing it, she starts thinking that Jin must be a big star or a very rich person. She even requests him that since she has run out of money, can she stay at his house for one night, but Jin clearly refuses. After that, as she is leaving, she asks him which band he belongs to, whether he is a singer, and what his stage name is. Jin thinks for a moment and tells her the name of some unknown band, pretending to be a masked member of it. She gets very excited and says that the masked member is her favorite. She becomes very happy and asks for his autograph. Jin thinks that ever since this poor girl came to Tokyo, only bad things have happened to her, so why not become her favorite idol for a while? He gives her an autograph so that she can at least take some good memories from Tokyo, since he believes they will probably never meet again. After saying goodbye, Won goes to a sauna and takes a steam bath. It's the first time in her life she is enjoying something like this, but she is so tired that she faints there. On the other side, Jin hears some noise in his house, comes downstairs, and sees that his landlady aunt has brought a girl with her. She says that the girl had fainted, so she thought to let her stay for the night. When Jin looks at her, he is shocked to see that the girl is none other than Won. Fate has brought them face to face again. The aunt brings Won to the house, and when Won sees Jin there, she is surprised. She quickly realizes that he is not rich, and that he also lied about being a superstar. She even tears apart the autograph he gave her. After that, they start fighting in the house, arguing even while brushing, and also about staying in the house. The next day, When the aunt hears Won's whole story, she feels bad for her and offers that if she wants to stay in Tokyo, she can arrange something for her. The aunt has a naughty nature and even teases her, saying that she must be a village girl, which is why she lost to a Tokyo girl. She advises her that if she wants to live there, she will have to work. Then she says that she has already made a plan to sell her. Won misunderstands this and thinks the aunt is talking about selling her body, but actually, the aunt gets her a job as a waiter at a restaurant owned by someone she knows. There, Won slowly learns the work and starts earning some money. Interestingly, the restaurant owner uncle and his daughter are very sweet and kind people, and Won quickly becomes friends with them. On the other hand, Jin is still a struggling artist and works part-time at a bar to earn a living. Whenever he gets time off, he comes to meet them there. The aunt's son, Yen, also comes there. He is very rich and a bit older, but he has a very kind heart. He is even listed among the top 10 young businessmen, yet he lives a very simple life without any attitude. Before leaving, he tells Jin to take good care of his mother in his absence. Then we see that Won receives a call from her hometown. Actually, her grandmother has a leg problem, due to which climbing stairs is very difficult for her. They want to install a lift in the house, but it is very expensive. Earlier, her parents used to handle such expenses, but now Won has to take responsibility. When she hears that it will cost 3 million, she gets very worried. Meanwhile, some of her belongings fall down, and she is trying to pick everything up alone while people just pass by without helping. She thinks that people in Tokyo are very cold, but then someone stops to help her, and it turns out to be En. His first impression on her is very good. Later, Won talks to the restaurant owner's daughter, who tells her that if she works there for 3 years, only then will she be able to earn 3 million. Hearing this, Won gets very stressed. Since they have become good friends, the girl gives her advice. She says that Won is already ready for marriage and even has her bridal dress, so why not start marriage hunting? There are many good and rich men for whom 3 million is not a big amount. She advises her that many rich guys are out there, and maybe she could even find a good partner. She suggests that Won should try becoming a bit modern, wear nice dresses and attend parties. Won starts preparing herself for this modern change. When Jin hears that she's planning to become modern and even join a dating app, he can't stop laughing. He tells her that she doesn't have anything like typical girly quality. If anything, she only has physical strength, so she shouldn't try to become a butterfly. This makes Won very angry, and she starts hitting him. Their fight escalates to the point where it looks like 2 kids playing and fighting in the house. The aunt gets disturbed and comes out to stop them, but ends up getting hit by a ball herself. Instead of scolding them, she sweetly joins in their play. The next day, Won is seen dressing up and preparing herself to become a butterfly. On the other hand, Jin goes to his agency where his manager gives him a small task to compose music for a video. Coincidentally, another band is also there, which is becoming very popular these days. It includes a girl and a masked member. Jin gives advice to that masked member, saying that when he himself was a struggling artist, he never sold his talent cheaply, and he should also not undervalue his talent. Jin is quite impressed with that band because their work is doing really well. He requests an autograph, not for himself, but for Won. Meanwhile, the female band member, who is quite bold, comes close to Jin and starts flirting with him, saying she fell in love with him at first sight and asks if he believes in love at first sight. Somehow, Jin manages to escape from her. Later, he goes home and gives the autograph to Won. She becomes very happy seeing it and thanks him. But despite all this, she doesn't truly feel happy. She is only doing all this to show Wang that she has moved on. She says that forgetting childhood love is very difficult, and now she doesn't believe in love anymore. She feels that maybe if someone suddenly comes into her life, that person could become her ideal life partner. When she asks Jin, he says he also doesn't believe in love. He had only one girlfriend since college, but after college she left him because he didn't have a stable job and was struggling in his career. She chose a better option. In short, it becomes clear that Jin and Won have now become very good friends and can share their feelings with each other. One day at Jin's workplace, a girl comes, drinks coffee made by him, and tells him that his coffee made her crazy. She also compliments his looks and gives him her number. asking him to contact her if he's interested. Meanwhile, at the aunt's house, her son Yen returns, and everyone celebrates with a barbecue party. During dinner, Jin and Won continue their usual childish arguments. Won tells him he's not even handsome and looks like a high school boy, and Jin fires back with his own comment. To stop their fight, the aunt and Yen play music, and Jin even sings with a guitar. Later, Yen sits with Jin and takes advice from him about his career, and even plays some music he recently composed. Won, on the other hand, talks to the aunt and says she doesn't think Jin has any special talent. If he did, he would have been successful by now. But the aunt disagrees, saying that his uniqueness is exactly why she gave him a place to stay and support him. Yen seems to be taking interest in Won. He also tells her that he doesn't like fake or artificial girls. He suggests that she should come with him to a party the next day where she might find a good match. On the other side, Jin sees the number that the girl gave him earlier, but feels it might be a scam, so he doesn't dare to call. Back in Won's hometown, Yuang visits her grandmother. The grandmother is angry because Won hasn't told her the truth about the breakup. She is worried about how Won is managing in Tokyo and how she will arrange money for the lift. On the other hand, Aunt says to Jin that her son is very simple and rich, but wants a simple girl as his life partner, and she sees that simplicity in Won. Now it becomes clear that both the aunt and Yen are taking interest in Won. Meanwhile, Won goes to a party with Yen, where there are many elite people discussing business matters, and the whole atmosphere feels quite formal. Everyone at the party belonged to a very high status. Either they had high-paying jobs or came from very rich families. Won was the only one who seemed simple there, and she even felt embarrassed saying that she was just a waitress. Yen also notices that she is not able to adjust in that environment, so she leaves the party and goes outside, where she starts playing with a little girl. Actually, the child's mother had gone to the washroom, and the girl was waiting outside. For the first time, a real smile appears on Won's face, something that wasn't visible during the party. Yen notices this too, and this quality of hers touches his heart. Meanwhile, at home, Jin composes a very beautiful tune and wants to show it to Won, but he finds out that she has gone to a party with Yen. Hearing this makes him sad, and he thinks that he should step out of her life. She wants to get married, and no one could be a better match than Yen, who is genuinely a nice person. On the way back, Won tells Yen that the little girl reminded her of her own childhood. She shares that when she was little, her mother once left her somewhere saying she was going to the washroom, but she never came back. On the other hand, Jin tries to distract himself from Won by calling the girl who had given him her number. She immediately recognizes his voice and says she had been waiting for his call for 2 days. Meanwhile, when Won is returning with Yen, her grandmother keeps calling her repeatedly. She had avoided picking up earlier, but at Yen's insistence, she finally answered the call. As soon as she does, her grandmother scolds her and says that Yuang came and told her everything, the breakup, and that the wedding is not happening. She asks why Won lied for so long and where she is staying now. Seeing Won stressed, Yen gets out of the car. Won then says that she wasn't lying. She is actually going to get married. She shows Yen to her grandmother over the call and suddenly asks him, "Will you marry me?" Yen had already come to Japan to find a wife, so he says that if she is serious and not joking, then he agreed. Hearing this, Won feels both shocked and happy. Later, we see that the aunt is also very happy because she already liked Won, and now she is going to marry her son. She gives them 2 tickets for an aquarium date so they can spend time together. She also gives 2 tickets to Jin. Jin feels sad. He wanted to go there with Won, but now he controls his feelings because it's no longer possible. The next day, Won goes on an aquarium date with Yen. They enjoy a lot and have fun, but from no angle do they look like a couple. It doesn't feel like a real date. On the other side, Jin goes there with the coffee shop girl. Won sees him with another girl, and it breaks her heart. She doesn't fully understand her feeling, but somewhere deep down, she feels jealous. After the aquarium, Jin takes that girl out to eat as well, trying to spend time with her, but it's clear he isn't happy and doesn't feel comfortable with her. Meanwhile, Won notices something about Yen, that he keeps getting calls and goes aside to answer them, speaking in English. As they walk, Won sees a stunning bridal dress. Its design is so beautiful that Yen offers to buy it for her, but she stops him because it costs 1.2 million and she doesn't feel right accepting it. After that, they go for lunch and spend a good time together. Won honestly tells him that she had fun but couldn't connect her heart with him. It didn't feel like a date. Still, they can remain good friends. She also shows him photos of her village. Yen gives her a gift, and when she opens the box, she finds a cute ring with a jellyfish design inside. She really likes it. Meanwhile, Jin receives a call from his manager with good news. She tells him that the music he recently composed has been liked by a big company. He becomes very happy because this is his first big success. Just then, the same girl suddenly starts asking him for money. He gets surprised, and she begins telling a sad story that her mother is sick and she needs money for her treatment. But Jin is not that naive. He immediately understands that the girl is a scammer and that she gave him her number for this very reason. He tells her that she trapped him like a fish and that she's quite good at doing this. At first, she denies it, but later admits that she is scamming because she needs money. She says he was her first target and that she probably needs more experience since she got caught so quickly. Jin feels heartbroken because this same girl had told him she fell in love with him at first sight. He had felt happy thinking that she liked him for who he is, without caring about his job or career. As she leaves, she stops and tells him that her real name is Shin. She says he is a very good person, and since she is going through a tough time, if she ever needs a friend, she will call him. Jin returns home in a bad mood. Meanwhile, Won is very happy and shows him the ring, saying that Yen has proposed to her with it. But the moment Jin sees the ring, he reacts harshly and says that with such a cheap ring, it was already clear that Yen doesn't value her. Won gets angry and wants to argue like before, but Jin is not in the mood. Instead, he tells her everything about the girl he went on a date with, that she turned out to be a fraud who tried to scam him. After hearing his painful story, Won genuinely feels bad for him. Later, both of them sit outside near a bonfire and share their feelings. Even though Jin doesn't want to, he congratulates her on her marriage proposal. On the outside, he tries to look happy, but inside, he feels very sad. On the other hand, the aunt goes out with Yen to eat some traditional food. Yen keeps receiving calls and talks in English, which makes the aunt suspicious. She checks his phone and finds out that a girl named Rue from New York has been calling him repeatedly. She starts questioning her son. The next day, early in the morning, the aunt wakes Jen up and says she wants to talk to him about something important. She reveals that her son has a girlfriend in New York named Rue, who is very attached to him. He wants to get rid of her, but she is too clingy. That's why he decided to marry a girl from Japan, so that he can go back and show Rue that he is married. The aunt says she knows Won is a sweet and innocent girl and doesn't want to drag her into this mess, so she asks for Jin's help to somehow convince Won not to talk about marriage. But Jin tells her that her son has already proposed to Won. The aunt laughs and says that no one seriously proposes with such a cheap ring. Jin becomes even more worried. When he sees Won, she is already preparing to go to New York and is even practicing English. Jin tries to make excuses, telling her that speaking English is difficult and she won't be able to adjust there, so she should drop the idea of marriage and stay here. But Won doesn't listen. After a while, she receives a call from her grandmother. This time, she answers it. Her grandmother scolds her, saying she knows everything and asks if she is marrying just to arrange money for the elevator by taking money from a man. Do you even have a little bit of sense? Would you present yourself like this? I didn't raise you this way. Use some sense. You turned out even worse than your mother. Hearing this, Won feels deeply hurt and says her mother had left her and she doesn't want to be compared to her. She can never be worse than her. To calm the situation, the aunt takes the phone and tells the grandmother that Won is not doing anything wrong. She says Won is working as a waiter, earning enough to survive, and asks her not to worry. Soon Won will come back to her. Hearing this, Won realizes that the aunt is planning to send her back and that she should stop dreaming about marriage. Just then, news spreads that a very big lady has arrived in Tokyo. A famous designer had come from abroad. Her name was Madame Ning. Meanwhile, Won meets Yen and apologizes to him, saying she doesn't love him and only agreed to marry him because he is rich. Yen also apologizes, admitting that he wasn't in love with her either and only wanted to marry her to get rid of his situation. They both decide to remain friends and drop the topic of marriage. On the other side, Madame Ning is shown giving an interview. She is a very famous designer. During the interview, she mentions that she was once married and had a personal life, but suddenly becomes emotional, and her manager sends the reporter away. Then Jin talks to Won and tells her that when she saw him at the aquarium, he noticed something in her eyes. It felt like she doesn't just see him as a friend, but has some feelings for him. When Won returns, she receives a letter from her grandmother along with a ticket. Her grandmother wants her to come back. Seeing this makes her sad. To cheer cheer her up, Jin starts playing games with her. She is actually very good at games and physical activities. Still feeling low, she wonders how she will pay for the elevator. Jin tells her not to depend on anyone else and not to rely on a man. She should earn the money herself. But Won feels that she won't be able to earn that much money, it might take years, and by then something might happen to her grandmother. To cheer her up, Jin plays a tune he composed, inspired by her. She becomes happy listening to it, but then gets emotional again and says that at least he knows his talent and passion. While her life feels useless, she keeps wondering whom she will marry, who will take care of her, and whether she will ever become independent. Jin tells her to try to discover her own talent and passion. Suddenly, she gets an idea and says that before going back to her hometown, she wants to show him something. She takes him to see that same stunning bridal dress. It seems like she is realizing that she has a passion for designing. While standing there, Jin asks her to stay in Tokyo. They both look at each other, but get distracted when someone arrives. Won, who always speaks her mind openly, starts asking him a lot of questions. Whether he was trying to stop her, whether he likes her, whether he was about to kiss her, and whether he is thinking about marrying her. Jin gets overwhelmed and replies that she is overthinking. He only wants her to stay in Tokyo and fulfill her dream, not because of merit. In the next scene, the aunt is scolding both of them in the morning because they stayed out all night and drank too much. They are behaving oddly due to the hangover. After scolding them, the aunt says it's good they have become friends and have understanding, but she won't allow any physical relationship in the house. Won is still drunk, but hearing this wakes her up. While arguing, she says that forget a physical relationship. She doesn't even think Jin knows how to kiss properly. Hearing this, Jin gets angry, and they start fighting again. In that heated moment, Won even tears the ticket her grandmother had sent and declares that she will stay in Tokyo and earn enough money to afford the elevator for her grandmother. Then we see Madame Ning again, who is about to return to Paris after her visit to Japan. She is shown as a very stunning and graceful woman. Won has decided not to go back, but she doesn't know how she will earn such a huge amount of money. She talks to her employer about starting a business, but they refuse, saying she can't enter the food business because she lacks money, experience, and skill. They advise her to first find her passion, what she is actually good at, before starting any business. Confused and lost, Won goes and sits in front of her favorite dress, thinking deeply. Often to see it, she used to go there. At this time, the store owner also comes out. He often notices Won, so today he calls her and says that today your dress is on display. He is removing the dress from the display, and he offers Shin that if she wants to see the dress up close, she can. Not only does he let her see it, but since he is in a good mood, he also offers that if she wants, she can try it on. Shin's big dream is fulfilled in this way. She gets to wear the dress and see it, and she realizes that this is a very big brand. The brand's name was Oxide Dollar. Now, Jin in his office, her manager has arranged a small celebration for him because Jin has received her first big break/success, and it was a very big deal for her. She explains how she made someone listen to her song and music, and they really liked it. The lyrics were already written, but she needed another band member to sing the song. Manager had advised him to include another girl with a good voice and the right qualities. They start discussing this in detail. Meanwhile, at home, Won notices that some dresses her aunt had sent for dry cleaning had returned. She sees they are very expensive, and she realizes that these are mostly Oxide Dollar rebrand dresses. She observes the stitching carefully and tries to learn as much as she can from them. The aunt goes to meet her son, Yen, because he is returning to New York. The aunt tells that Rui holds so much space in his heart that cannot leave her, then why leave at all? She gives an indirect permission that she could marry a foreigner. Meanwhile, Won's grandmother is repeatedly looking at a magazine with pictures of Madame Ning. The reason she is so attached to the designer is that it seems her mother had left her in childhood, and the daughter of her grandmother, whose photos she secretly saw, connects to this. When Jin returns home, she sees that she has made a huge mess. In her zeal, she has cut up her aunt's dress into many pieces. She doesn't understand how she will stitch it back together so quickly without a sewing machine. She tries to improvise somehow, and Jin helps her. Meanwhile, the aunt comes upstairs, and both of them clarify things, then sit down comfortably, They start looking toward the light. Auntie isn't some little child. She immediately realizes that something is wrong, and it doesn't even take her 2 minutes to find the dress she had hidden. Juan apologizes profusely for ruining her aunt's branded dress, but the aunt tells her it is from another brand and slightly cheap. Also, she didn't really want to wear this dress. The aunt says that what matters more is that she learned something from it, and that makes her happy. Next, we see Juan and Jin often visiting the aunt's splash area. Both used to work there too, and they have fun together cleaning the washroom. Spending so much time together, their bonding grows, and it feels like they are best friends. One day, Juan comes close to Jin and tells him that he has helped her so many times in her life. She says she feels he must have been born in the summer season. When he tells her his birthday, she realizes he is 7 days younger than her. She laughs a lot and then says something very romantic, implying that in this world, she has only spent 7 days alone without him. Her words touch his heart. She moves closer, and it feels like a kiss is about to happen. But then Juan playfully sprays him with a water gun. Of course, he doesn't stay behind. He throws an entire bucket of water on her. Yet, he is so caring that he first checks if the water is cold, since it is winter. One day, Jin and her manager are discussing their next project. During the discussion, another member of the band, whose name was May, comes there crying. She was a very big star, and at that moment her heart was broken. She comes crying and hugs Jin, holding him tightly, and starts crying on his shoulder. The manager scolds her a lot, saying, "You shouldn't have hugged me. Why did you go to that guy?" But she says, "When your heart is broken, a handsome boy can help mend it." But the manager was very clever. She grabbed him, hugged herself, and told her to cry. Meanwhile, Juan had gone out for an outing that day. She visited many malls, looking at lots of lovely clothes from different brands, noticing their designs carefully. The children were all running around on their own work. The aunt often felt lonely, so she would often sing songs to lift her spirit. That evening, when the 3 of them returned home, Juan excitedly told them how many stores she had observed, how many clothes she had seen. She couldn't buy them because she didn't have the money, but just seeing them had been enjoyable. During these discussions, she started understanding the design of one particular dress, and her drawing and designing skills were so impressive that people were amazed just by looking. The aunt encouraged her and said, "Today's favorite dress of mine. You made it beautifully." Then started working on it very quickly, spending hours on it. Jin was amazed to see her designing skill. He thought, why not let her work with a professional designer? The design belonged to someone who had been her classmate back in childhood school. Then showed the designer, and although it was a very big brand, it was rare for anyone to like a dress so much. One day, while Juan was studying fashion design, Jin gave her advice. He asked, "Why don't you create some designs from your own mind?" Juan immediately started working and, sitting right there, made 4 or 5 designs. Jin was amazed and thought to himself, this girl is a genius. He also realized he would need to work very hard to reach her level. Whenever Juan started designing, she would lose track of time, and her hands became very clean and skillful. The aunt was impressed with her talent, so she went to meet her friend and started telling her about Juan's skills. The friend said, "I don't accept interns without experience or degrees. How can I let her work with me?" Meanwhile, at home, Jin was sleeping after work. Juan sat in front of him and started sketching something. She was looking at him very attentively, noticing how handsome he was. She tried waking him up, but he didn't move. He was in a deep sleep. Juan took advantage of the moment and gave him a playful kiss. In the next scene, on the dining table, Jin tells the aunt, "Last night, I had a dream that someone kissed me." Hearing this, Juan nearly fell, barely managing to hold himself steady because, of course, there was a straw in his beard. He also remarked that he didn't like the kiss at all. Juan thought to herself that she would never forgive this boy for this act. Now we see Mr. Hao, Auntie's friend, who is a famous designer from Japan. Auntie brought Juan to meet him today. He looked at all her designs, but said that there was nothing special in them. However, he had already recognized the hidden talent in Shin. He told her that if she wanted to stay here, she would have to take on more jobs, and if she learned well, she would get a chance at a prestigious assignment. Juan thanked the aunt profusely, saying, "This is the opportunity one wanted. Now I can achieve so much through my hard work." The aunt was very sweet and said that she had loved painting once, just like Juan loved designing. The aunt always valued talent in people and had always helped Juan and her Jin. After reaching home, Juan starts praising herself a lot in front of Jin. She says that Mr. Hao liked her very much and praised her designs a lot. She claims that she's going to become a very big designer because she's a genius in this field. She was saying all this just to make Jin jealous. In the next scene, We shows Jin's talented manager. She was handling other in that band. There was a member named Ming who had been depressed these days. He said, "This competition and ranking system is frustrating me. I want to escape from this world where there's so much crying and pressure. I've run after it so much, but I don't care about anyone anymore. This field has only given me depression, nothing else." On the way, she also noticed a woman who told her, "You have a lot of talent, but I want to make you aware that in this field, there are many obstacles ahead. If you can go back now, go back." But Jin didn't listen to any of this. He ignored it and wanted to go to the manager. Her manager told her to stop doing small jobs because a big opportunity was coming. They were currently auditioning for another member of her band. They held an audition for a girl who sang very poorly, but behind her, there was a very strong backing. The manager asked, "Do I have to choose her?" because the sponsor had insisted. But Jin firmly refused, saying, "I will not compromise. If you ruin my hard work this way, I won't work with you." He then went home. At home, Won had been very happy because she had just come from the design office the previous day and had started working there. Jin felt some tension, but soon his manager told her that she had decided to rebel. Together, they started making a plan. On a small day, she invited the woman to help her and asked a friend to join. The manager arranged a very talented singer with a beautiful voice. They wanted to do a rehearsal indirectly, acting as if a shoot was happening while the song was playing. They knew that by 11 a.m., the CEO would arrive. If the CEO liked the song and voice, no one could stop them. Won helped a lot in finding a good voice for the song. With the singer's voice, the CEO approved it. Everyone celebrated that night. While having dinner, Won noticed that the same scammer girl she had mentioned earlier was now calling Jin. Won immediately realized that she needed help from a friend at that time. She had accidentally picked up his phone, and then they talked a little. Won understood that the girl was going through a very dark phase in life. Won loved helping and encouraging people in difficult times because she had also experienced hard times. Talking to her gave the girl positive energy. The girl asked, "Will you be my friend? Can I call you sometimes?" They exchanged phone numbers. Today, Won remembered childhood memories. Actually, her mother, Madame Asha, had offered her the chance to become a designer earlier. Her grandmother had tried very hard to stop her, saying, "You have a small child and you are her mom." But grandmother says that this chance comes to only 1 in 100,000 people, and she wouldn't give it up. The grandmother had dismissed her daughter, saying, "I will make sure you never come back." After that, poor Won's mother disappeared, leaving her alone in a toilet. She had gone away forever. Today, because of memories, she couldn't sleep. She went downstairs, kept a pillow next to the Jin. He woke UPS and started talking to him from the heart. The boy was so sweet, though very sleepy, and she kept teasing him with her hands and feet. But he didn't get angry. He gently calmed her down and let her sleep. Next, Won goes to the office. In the office, Mr. Hao was very angry, scolding employees constantly and blaming 200 people for his own mistake. She had to work very hard, making coffee for everyone, managing jobs, handling materials, and design. It was very difficult, but she didn't give up. She worked sincerely with all her heart. One night, she stayed late in the office. Mr. Haju noticed how hard she was working. She pasted photos on shoe boxes so that they could be easily found later. She also labeled every material and design with a name and number. Mr. Haju became very friendly with her. They even went window shopping together, looking at many dress designs and their colors. Shin also studies design. Mr. Haju gives Shin a gift, a design of his own. It was very simple, but there was a small default in it. Meanwhile, Jin is shown coming to dinner with his manager. The manager introduces him to a girl who is going to be a singer and another member of his band. By coincidence, Mr. Haju and Won are both there for dinner, and Jin is also present. The manager watches them eat and notes that it looks like the two are on a date. They look very sweet together. At that moment, May arrives. She is from a very famous band, a partner of Mango. Seeing her, all the fans go crazy, but Shin is quietly observing everything. Mr. Haju notices and thinks, "It feels like this you have crush on Jin." Shin ignores this comment. The next day, Won comes to her office wearing the same dress. She is very focused and working hard, solving many difficulties with dedication. While working, she notices a pattern has gone wrong. She sorts it out herself. Mr. House sees her and is surprised, saying, "Who arranged this better than me?" When he hears Won's name, he is astonished. After some investigation, Mr. Howe learns that Won is Madame Asha's daughter, a world-famous designer. Her reputation impresses everyone, and he shares this news with the aunt, who is shocked and wonders why Won had hidden this. They also discover that Won's grandfather was a very famous painter, though he died early. This means Shin is the daughter of two geniuses, which explains her immense talent. Later, Won, exhausted from work, falls asleep at the office. Jin gently wakes her up, lifts her, and lays her down on her bed. He is a little shy at first, but soon relaxes. Her singer, May, comes by with a new hairstyle and says she wants to change her stage name because everyone liked her previous name. Meanwhile, in Won's office, Mr. Hao asks her, "Why didn't you ever tell me you are Madame Asha's daughter?" She is surprised, but says there is nothing to be proud of, and actually, she dislikes Madame Asha. Mr. Hao had been upset recently because, during Fashion Week, none of the designs were ready, and nothing clicked for him. At 2 a.m., he asks his assistant where certain materials are. Won, excited, goes to the office at 2 a.m. to help Mr. Hao. Her dedication, new designs, and study efforts impress Mr. Hao so much. At the fashion store, many old staff members are curious. A superstar, who is currently in a wheelchair due to an injury, arrives to get a special dress design. Won listens carefully as he explains the issues with his outfit. She begins solving the problem. Won already has a good understanding with him because they are from the same background and communicate well. She improves the existing design and creates a new one, which the superstar loves. Meanwhile, a conflict arises between two employees, turning into a catfight, which damages the brand's reputation. In the evening, Won tells the aunt and the others about his difficult day, saying he was suspended but promised to create the best design within 2 weeks. If she fails, she'll accept being fired. She works tirelessly on a new design to impress Mr. Hao. At the same time, May is currently working with her band, and the manager comments on her efforts. Take very good care. She was very attached to Ming, and now her heart was broken. Along with that, she was also instructed that she likes long hair a lot, so she cut her hair for her for the first time in her life. That's why she wanted to give his best. In the band, both of them worked very well together. They took it seriously and even thought of a name for their band, which was Beats Per Minute. He promised Won that he would one day create a song according to her heartbeat, a song from his heart to her. That evening, they enjoyed dinner together, played with bubbles, and shared heartfelt talk. They felt their careers were finally on the right track. Won got a little emotional and asked, "When you become very famous and achieve everything, will you leave me and go far away?" He replied, "I can never go far from you." The next day was their recording day, but May has not come yet. When Jin arrived, she apologized and explained, "I'm with Ming. He was just managing his family business and area." She added, "He is the heartbeat of my life, and we have decided to marry. I left the industry, and now I will focus only on giving my best." Manager says she was surprised to learn that all this time, her hair wasn't cut. She had been wearing a wig. Her heart had only been beating for Ming. Won was stressed because no good design was clicking for her. While sitting at home, Jen messaged her, saying, "May has ran away." She laughed. It felt like his bride had run away too. Meanwhile, Won noticed a girl singing to some children. Her voice was amazing. She immediately thought that she needed a singer for his project. She called the Jin over. When he heard her sing, he realized the girl was none other than Shin herself, the camera girl who had appeared as a scammer on the first day. Shin met Won, and both of them together made her very happy, as they had been friends over the phone before. They also discussed some things on the call. Jin was surprised because he hadn't expected this. He showed her singing video to his manager, who was astonished. Won recalled that the first time she saw Shin, she thought her voice was beautiful and she was also very pretty, just needing some grooming. Won needed a model to show her dress design, and she realized Shin was perfect for her new song's outfit. They approached her and requested, "Can you join the band, and may I design your dress?" She was initially surprised and humble, even embarrassed, because she had only tried singing a few times. They all went together to the manager, who advised her, "Look, Shin, you are very talented. Many of the best reviews are circulating in the world, so have confidence in yourself." Won got permission to design the dress of Shin for the music video, and soon after, the recording started. The performance was excellent. While sitting, Won realized exactly what design to make. Mr. Hao was shown, and he was now completely ready for Paris Fashion Week with many dresses. He often asked others about Won's progress and learned which design would be new. He instructed Mr. Haju to help Won fully, including any extra tasks she might need. He told her, "Dream big. You are not less than anyone. I know you have talent, and having national-level talent is a huge blessing from God." One day, Shin tried on her outfit, and it truly looked beautiful. She still had a lot of designing work ahead, which required a lot of effort. Her friends would also come to help, and often her aunt would assist as well. Won noticed one thing: Jin and Shin were very close, close, and they had a strong understanding of each other. This understanding made her jealous. One day, the manager asked Shin a question. She said, "It's a little curious. Why do you always wear a bracelet on your hand? Is there a secret behind it?" Shin didn't answer immediately. She had tried multiple times to cut her wrist. One day, Shin's aunt's house had a lot of people gathered, friends who were helping her. Shin goes outside, so Shin also followed along, knowing that there might be signs of something wrong. She was aware that Shin had attempted suicide multiple times before. He gave Shin courage, and he realized that Shin could handle all of this, and she would always have her friends standing by her side. Shin was finally happy that she had found true friends. Won noticed that they both are not there and becomes jealous by thinking that they are alone outside and so close to each other. But she remained silent. Won at last designed the dress, and it was looking so beautiful. Jin tried hard to hide her wrist, but couldn't, and doing so she got nervous and runs from there. Jin and Won comes to her, and she told them about her wrists cut. She tells them that she tried this since her childhood. Won encouraged her that she was alone before, but now she have friends, and they will not left her alone. They are with her always. After that, Won designed a matching bracelet to go with her dress for a shoot. This shoot was extremely successful. Shin looked stunning, and Won seemed very impressed. Their friendship grew stronger, and their understanding of each other improved. Shin even made a small chocolate-themed design, which Won found very cute and kept as a token of friendship. A week later, the video from this shoot went viral, getting over 7 million views. Their ranking improved drastically. Mr. Hao loved the dress design and said, "We will include this design in Paris Fashion Week." Won was overjoyed. She could not even express her happiness in words. The manager also told Shin, "You both are very lucky. Few people get a hit song so early in their career. Now you have to focus on your work and avoid all kinds of controversy." From that point, it was all success after success. Won told her grandmother that she had become a fashion designer for a major brand. However, her grandmother had bad memories associated with fashion designing, always recalling her own daughter who passed away. So she didn't talk to Won and only communicated by phone. When Won returned home, she was happy watching the song video, but she also got news that he was moving out soon. His company had arranged him an apartment. Won was not prepared for such a big change. The reason he told her aunt was that he was staying with another girl and could not risk any controversy. Won was deeply moved. Before was her friend, but as soon as popularity came, she became a distant girl, hiding her feelings in her heart. Next, when Jin arrived, Shin was making a painting and said, "This is for you." He was happy hearing this, but she added, "It's a token of our farewell." This made Jin emotional and set him in a thoughtful mood. He wanted to talk to her, but she said, "No, how can I talk to such a big star? I am just an ordinary person, and you are so handsome." She then explained the history of the painting and showed how she had spent the last day with her mother, taking inspiration from that time to create this drawing. The flowers in the painting always reminded her of that farewell. She remembered the value of her last meeting with her mother, and now she gave this as a token of farewell to Jin too, because this was the right way since their paths were about to separate. Jin said, "Look, even though I am leaving home, nothing will change. No matter how popular I become, I will always remain the same for you. I will neither change nor will our relationship. Trust me." That evening, the two of them spent time together. Won was watching fireworks on her computer, but Jin said, "I just want to enjoy it with your voice." After that, they both lay down and imagined together, picturing themselves watching fireworks in a field somewhere, what they would wear, what the weather would be like, everything in their imagination. She wondered if such a day would really come when they would be together and enjoy it. At that moment, Jin held her hand and said, "I want to watch fireworks like this with you, and I will definitely make this dream come true." Jin's manager comes and told them that for the first time, she would appear on a TV show, meaning they would dub and prepare her appearance for TV for the first time. Won was very happy because her dubbing was complete. A model wore her dress in a fashion show. She was extremely happy. Later, Jin told her this news, and she was happy for him too. Additionally, she offered that she could design a dress for their TV appearance. By now, he had to move out of her house soon, and it was revealed that her address was so well liked that Mr. Hao wanted her to create her own collection. Won's happiness knew no bounds, but at the same time, she felt a little sad because Jin had to move out in 2 days. Her aunt also knew and thought that the home would lose its liveliness when he left. In the last 2 days, the two of them spent all their time together, sitting in the living area, working together, and eventually falling asleep there. Her aunt realized that they were like true lovebirds and even made a painting for them. Mr. Hao was worried. He realized that perhaps his age was increasing, and because of this, he couldn't get inspiration as easily as before. He was not as smart as he used to be in the fashion field, but he wasn't ready to accept that it was his retirement time. One day, her aunt played a prank with Jin, but he thought it was Juan. He said something romantic to her aunt, who reacted and said, "You should tell this to Juan. She will like it. But here's advice, you will move out soon, so make sure to talk to her before that." Her aunt thought he was about to say, "I love you." Meanwhile, Juan had started working on her collection, naming it Don't Remember Days Remember Movement. She was creating with full creativity, as if she was born to be a fashion designer. At the same time, Jin got an email from Madame Asha, Juan's mother. She had seen the song and was impressed with the dress Jin wore. She wrote that if the designer who made this dress wanted to contact her or needed a big opportunity, she was willing to help her. She praised the talent of the dress designer. Juan was very angry and immediately deleted the message because it contained her mother's phone number and email ID. But before deleting, Jin took a screenshot. He thought life sometimes puts difficult situations in front of you. Maybe one day she would need it. But this whole thing was very upsetting, and it ruined Juan's mood, and he couldn't express his feelings to Juan. Juan, thinking of her mother, felt very emotional. She went upstairs wanting to talk to him, but thought he must have been asleep. But he wasn't asleep. He was repeatedly looking at her painting. Then, Jin moved out of the house and put Juan's belongings in a pickup truck. Her aunt had already left for her work. She thought that Juan would still be asleep at this time and would never wake up, but she called her. She was standing by the window. She had even placed a post there. She said goodbye very nicely and told him that she would always stay with him through all her hardships as his best friend. She began to recall moments, like the time she had once asked his name while standing at the window. She repeated the same today, asking his name and telling him own name. Then she said goodbye to him, along with all her best wishes, which warmed his heart. As he left, he cried a lot on the way. Juan was also sad, but to distract herself, started working. She immersed herself in her collection, and even after a while, she remained busy with her work. One day, Jin wanted to discuss some lyrics with Shin. He saw that Shin had so many photos of Juan on her laptop. He wondered why she had so many photos stored, which seemed a bit strange to him. Just then, the manager called them for some work, so they couldn't talk. The next day, Juan showed her collection to Mr. Haju. Seeing it, his eyes went wide. She had become so talented, he had never imagined this. He thought, indeed, she is Madame's daughter. After that, both of them went to meet Jin and asked her talent manager to design their dress. They wondered if they wanted these two to design the dresses. Here, Mr. Haju teased Juan a lot, which disturbed Jin a little. Juan felt that he wasn't like before. After a long time, she had seen him, and it seemed he had grown distant. But after returning, Shin started interacting with Jin again. She felt that maybe Mr. Haju liked her, or perhaps she liked him too, because they were becoming quite close. It makes Shin's mood off. Next, the office scene. Mr. House stayed late at the office because he was worried. One day, he noticed Juan's portfolio that she had left there, including designs she had created for her collection. Seeing them, he was shocked. A little later, Juan came, picked up her bag, and left. The next morning, she realized her portfolio had been left at the office. She mostly worked from home, but when she went to the office, she saw that Mr. Hao had stolen all her designs and even taken her title. When she asked him, he said, "This collection is now mine." In our industry, it's the rule that assistants give their designs to editors, and in return, they make them successful. Shin protested, saying it wasn't fair. Mr. Hao replied, "You really are talented." He kneels down and says, "Give me your design." Juan was shocked. She had never seen him like this. Someone came along and took him with them. Another colleague was there and told Juan, "This is common. It happens to all of us." But for Juan, it was unacceptable. She said, "These are my ideas. I will not let anyone steal them." Then she got upset and left repeatedly. She tried calling Jin, but he didn't answer. She called Shin and asks about Jin. Shin realized she was troubled and told him that he would be free after a meeting. She went to Jin's office. No matter the situation, she wanted to meet him and share everything with him. Her manager saw that she was very upset, completely drenched in the snowfall. She told her that they must have finished their work by now. She sat there, waiting. Summoning courage, she went inside and saw Jin. But she also saw that the entire office was empty and Jin and Shin were completely alone together, and they were hugging each other. Seeing this, her heart broke. First, a past trauma, and now a lack of trust in Jin. She ran away, never wanting anyone to see her like that. She just left nonstop, so that no one would know she had come there or what she had seen. First, her mother had left her in childhood. Then Jin had broken her heart, then stealing of her designs. Now, even Jin belonged to someone else. Her heart could not accept this. Next, we realized that actually Jin had become very upset and jealous, and so she started planning something. She had a photo with Jin that she cropped and then showed it to Jin. She explained that she had been calling repeatedly, and that's why she wanted to announce that she and Mr. Haju were in a relationship. Roughly, their photo was also shown. At the same time, she started emotionally blackmailing, saying, "My heart was broken too, and now yours is broken. Why is this happening to both of us?" Then she began to cry, and Jin, as her friend, hugged her to console her. This was the same scene that Shin had seen from outside the room. Misunderstandings arose, and she went outside and started crying. She sat in the middle of the street while it was snowing. At that moment, Mr. Haju arrived. Won, crying, explained to him how Mr. Hao had stolen her design. She said she couldn't tolerate so much and now was feeling very hurt. Mr. Haju was very sweet and felt deeply for her. Then he went to the office to try to talk to Mr. Hao, but Mr. Hao got angry instead. He said that he wasn't now chief pattern designer. Mr. Haju also became angry and cursed, saying that the way she had been abandoned was unfair. Then Won and Mr. Haju went to the manager and showed the dress they had been designing together. The dress was outstanding, and the manager liked it a lot. But at that time, Won felt very awkward. She couldn't even meet his eyes, and Jin also didn't speak because he feared something would happen if he spoke about Mr. Haju. Silence remained between both sides, and their feelings stayed locked inside. Later, Haju came to Won and she said that it was very difficult for her to handle so many things, especially facing Jin. He told her, "You are a very sweet girl. Very talented. There's no one as talented as you, but whatever I can do, I will always support you professionally and personally if you want. If you want to forget Jin, I'm ready to go on a date with you." She laughed and jokingly said that there was no time for love now. It was time to work. She prepared her portfolio, ready for presentation. The company apologizes to her that they were working only with her boss for now, and that they have no relationship with her. She had to find her own sponsors or funding. She needed 5 million, which seemed impossible to her. Then more problems came her way. The manager came repeatedly, apologizing that they couldn't select her designs for the BPM band because their hands were tied. Big brands wanted their dresses and styling, and the company couldn't upset them. So they told Won that she was an individual designer, and they couldn't take her dresses. Won felt disheartened, but her aunt encouraged her, pointing out that the biggest card was still in her hand, given to her by God, and that her talent was her greatest asset. Her aunt also asked why you didn't contact her mother, and Won realized it was because her mother had left her in childhood. Her aunt said she could help her find sponsors to highlight her real talent. Won started feeling hopeful again. She called Jin and asked him to share any contact details of her mother if he had them. He had already taken a screenshot for her. Meanwhile, he apologized that they weren't using her dresses at that moment. Although they were talking, it wasn't the same as before. Both felt that everything was very superficial, and there were many things hidden in their heart. The next day, after finishing his work, Jin sent her a message saying, "I liked you before, I like you now, and I will always like you." Won was taking a bath at that time, and by the time she came out, she saw that he had sent a message but deleted it. She was very curious, and then sent a message, which was also the same. "I like you." She decided that if he read this message within half an hour, it's my fate. Otherwise, I will delete it, and it will also be my fate. After that, she became very restless. Meanwhile, we see Jin was busy in his work. After a long time, when he tried to open his phone, a message had come from Won, but when he opened it, it was already deleted because half an hour had passed. Both thought that there must have been a message, but maybe it was deleted in the dark night, and no one else knew the secret. After some time, Shin meets her mother. Madam came to meet her, but she was not emotional at all, nor did she hug her daughter. Won became emotional and said, "Maybe I had thought wrong." Then she left from there. Her mother apologized to her saying, "I could not become a good mother." Then they sat her down, and she repeatedly asked questions, and Won told her, "Actually, I need money. I want you to find a sponsor." She also showed her sari collection. Her collection was very impressive. She said, "Stay, but you're very talented. Just like me. Why not come with me to Paris?" The brand's name was revealed, and she said, "I will give you a chance. You can also take part in my fashion show." She said this because she was impressed by Won's dress when she first saw it. Won now decided that she will move forward in her career because the rest had closed the door for her. Mr. Haju was worried, asking, "What will happen to me then?" Shin said, "You will also come with me. My mother has agreed, and you will also manage tomorrow." After this, Won started packing her saris and other belongings. Once, when she was passing her old office, her ex-colleague saw her and told her, "Mr. Hao is looking for you," and forcibly took her inside. Mr. Hao said, "I have returned your collection. I am not stealing anything." He had called her repeatedly, but Won had blocked him. He says he realized that if his mother had known, he would have been very embarrassed. From that day, he changed her theme. Now Won gives her best efforts and is happy she is going to Paris. Won often used to watch Jin from afar, but distances between them had been growing over time, and a long time had passed without seeing each other. Next week, Won had to leave for Paris. Aunt said, "I have arranged a farewell for you." Everyone was coming, and she had called Jin along. But on the day of the party, when Won returned home, she realized that food was only prepared for 2 people, and Aunt herself was missing. This meant Aunt had set up the 2 of them and went out with her friends. Won became very nervous, checked herself in the mirror to see how she looked, and then waited. Jin arrived. She told him how many years it had been since she had met her mother. Her scent had not changed. Maybe she hadn't changed her perfume, or maybe I still loved her as much as before. They also teased each other, saying, "You have grown up a lot," but Jin said, "You have not changed at all. Even if you became a Tokyo woman and are going to Paris, you are still the same small-town girl I met on the first day." After that, they started enjoying fireworks together and remembered the day they had dreamed of spending summers together and watching fireworks. After dinner, they had to leave, but both kept their feelings in their hearts without saying anything. Then she asked, "If one day I extend my hand to you, will you hold it?" He replied, "How can you even ask this question? How could you even think that I would not hold your hand?" Then she hugged him tightly, crying a lot. Won was also very emotional. After this, they didn't say anything more. Won had to leave for Paris. Won, her mother, and grandmother were sitting nearby. Mom apologizes to her mother, and here Won also starts apologizing to them and says, "I am apologizing because I went to Tokyo and did not return to meet you." She was surprised that the daughter turned out exactly like her mother. Now she is also going to Tokyo for fashion designing. Here grandmother comes and shows Won something. Actually, her mother used to always send her some gift on birthdays, which grandmother would hide so that Won wouldn't feel sad. Now Shin realizes that actually her mother loved her, but she had become so passionate about her career that she left her. But this truth gives her mother many guilt, which both of them always knew. That day, they spent their last day together in a field, and if this field is translated into French, its name would be Kalza. One understood that her mother had named her brand after her love. Then we see Mr. Haju, who once created something in Shin's office, meets Shin and says, "I hope your and Jin's dating is going very well." Then he mentions, "One day, Won came here and saw you both holding hands. That's when she went away from your path." Meanwhile, Won had completed her packing fully and had to leave the next day. Here she meets Aunt, thanks her very much because if anyone had helped her in Tokyo, it was Aunt. Next, Shin had a recording, and she comes to Jin and tells him to definitely go to meet her at the airport. She clears the confusion, saying that earlier in the day she had become very jealous, which is why she had lied that Shin and Mr. Haju were dating. She also found out today that actually Won had seen both of them and misunderstood that it seemed Jin liked her and was unfaithful, which is why she went away. She wanted to clear the confusion so that Jin could go with a clear mind. Meanwhile, the manager comes and says that their recording had some issues and would need to be redone. If not done now, their new song would be very late. Shin says professionally it must be done first. Meanwhile, Won comes to the airport, and some people come to see her off, but Jin was not among them. He had sent them a letter through and Shin was very anxious about what was written in this letter. She sat aside to read it. Meanwhile, Jin, after finishing his recording, was watching many airplanes, wondering which one she would take to go far away. 3 years pass. Won returns to Japan. She has many trophies and awards, but now she does not live in Tokyo. She lives in her homeland, in a small town. We learned she had done very well in Paris and completed many courses there. However, she did not fit into Paris fashion and the fast life there. She was tense about her new theme and new collection. That's why her mother sent her here for peace. Mr. Hao meets her and says, "Do not overuse your talent this way." She replies, "Some people come to life to enjoy, some to fight. I think I came here to enjoy. Who understands here like you do?" He says, "I want you to fight too, and at the same time enjoy life." Meanwhile, we see Jin and Shin's band doing very well. Today they are giving a press conference to announce changes to their concerts. Won hears all this and actually, they were going to have her come on stage. Shin calls her and tells, "After so many years, I am calling you because I am still in guilt. Actually, I had lied to Jin that you and Mr. Haju were dating." She was very upset and now wants to clear all confusion. But Won tells her, "I have forgiven you. This is very old. There is no need to clear it now." After this, Won always kept looking at photos of Jin and Shin. She feels as if they are the made for each other. Meanwhile, we also learn that grandmother had gotten access to the elevator, which was connected to their granddaughter, and her daughter together had sent it. Meanwhile, a parcel arrives at home, and the parcel was from Jin. He was coming to the city for a concert, for which he had sent her a ticket. She also remembered that this was the city where she had first met Won. They had bumped into each other, and their earphones had also been exchanged. Now, after enjoying, Won finds out that he had called her backstage. He wants to meet her and talk about something special, but Won is so nervous that she immediately leaves. When he finds out, he is surprised and immediately messages Won to stop her, saying, "Please come, I need to talk to you about something important." Finally, he somehow manages to convince her to meet at one point at 11 p.m. Before she could read it, Won's battery dies, while Jin had his sponsor with him, who had arranged the concert. They wanted to sit and talk with him, have drink. Now Won suddenly clicks that maybe he called her to meet at the same place where their earphones had been exchanged. She runs in the cold night to that place, while Jin was stuck between his sponsors. But today, his manager somehow gives him freedom and says, "Go live your life." Won stands on the street at the signal waiting for him, but it was already past 11 o'clock, and he was not visible. Tears come to her eyes. She feels as if something might happen again, but he runs. Jin tries very hard to reach on time, but he is late. By the time he comes, Won has already left. She had waited half an hour. Suddenly, she sees his scarf, which he was holding behind and running. Finally, he sees her at a spot. He calls out to her, running. He can't wait any longer and stands there to speak to her. He says, "The first time we met, I have never forgotten, and since then, I have always liked you. I like you even now, and I always will." At that moment, the signal turns green. Shin also runs and reaches him. She hugs him. She says, "I love you too." Then both of them kiss each other. He says, "We have waited a long time, but now I don't want to spend any time without you, so let's be together." In the last scene, we see Won and Jin at Ant's house, wearing earphones, listening to the same song they heard for the first time. Actually, in the envelope, he had sent her a phone along with a letter in which he had written, "When we both become strong and can withstand the world, only then will we meet again." And indeed, that happened.